into the kitchen. You caught me. I started a few minutes early and I didn't have time to work on, let me make sure I got everything up loud. Okay. Didn't have time to work on feeding myself. So I'm getting a bite of cereal. Today, we got a lot of cooking to do. So we're not going to waste time because I've started a few things. And I'm excited. Good morning. Good morning. Come on in the kitchen. Come on, take a seat. And let's get to what we're going to be doing. Now I'm looking. There we go. Got a better picture. Good morning. We are going to be cooking today. We got a couple things that we're going to do today, and I'm going to tilt you just a little bit, hopefully, so that the sun won't, there we go. So the sun won't affect you. Good morning. Thank you. Well, you know, we're trying to get into that Valentine mode. Got my kissing booth on, and we're going to be ready to get started. I've even got red pots. How about that? Okay, so let me get you in place. We're going to get going here. And I want everything exactly where it's supposed to be. There we go. Now, so I'm glad to see everybody. I'm glad that you're up and you're ready to go. I have some navy beans that I started. They were fresh. They were dried. I soaked them overnight and gave them a good rinse, and now they're ready to be able to go into what we're going to be cooking today. Aww, how about that? Well, hello. Good going, Michelle. That is so sweet. Well, today we're going to be fixing some things that she might like. Now, I love going to Olive Garden, but I have not gone to Olive Garden much lately. But what I do like when I go, I usually get the salad and soup. And I eat their minestrone soup until I can't eat anymore. It is so good. All those good vegetables and it's warm. So we're going to put together a minestrone soup. And actually a portion of this I'm going to be giving away to somebody else. And then we're also going to put together some spaghetti for tonight's dinner. So we got a couple of things going on. So I'm so glad all of you are right here in the kitchen. So let's get to it and do what we need to do. All right, let me get everything ready here. I've got cookies that I'm going to take to the person who's going to be receiving the soup, and I got them already on the pan. I tried to do a few things in advance, so the cookies are here. These were actually frozen, and these are cookies that I fixed back in the fall and put them together. So I'm putting those in. I'm going to turn the timer on because you know if I don't, I'll forget. So, all right. So we've got the timers going for that. So that'll make me keep my eye on it. Okay. So like I said, I've got navy beans that are here because that's what I'm going to use in my minestrone. Olive Garden uses red kidney beans, the little small red kidney beans, but I don't have any of those. So I'm going to get our pot nice and hot. And once it's hot, we're going to be ready to add just a little drizzle of olive oil. We're going to keep this pretty vegetarian. Now, over here in this pot, I also need to get it warm. And this particular burner is called an ultra hot. So it tends to burn a little hotter than normal. So because of that, we're going to kind of keep the temperature at a reasonable point. Now, I have several things that I put together and got ready. I don't know if you can see over here, but I've got all kinds of things over here staged, and I'm going to talk about those as we need them. Now, so this pot is just about ready. I'm going to drizzle in a little EVOO, and this one's getting there, so I'm going to put a little olive oil in it as well. And we're trying to be nice and healthy and keep things going. Now, over here in the spaghetti, I need some onions, and I'm using some onions that I had already cooked. So they're going to be going in. I'm going to turn that up just a little bit so that'll be ready. I also need onions over here in the soup. So let's see if I can get you into the pots where you're a little closer and you can see. Get you turned down and get a good view. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, because like I said, I'm not the one that's important. It's all about what's going on the stove. There we go. We've got our pan for our spaghetti, and I've got that pretty high at this point because I want those onions to cook down. We have had a busy week, but it's been fun. It's been fun. The big guy and I have been pretty busy. Now over here in the pot where the soup is, or will be anyway, I've got my, I've got more. These are onions out of the freezer that I'm throwing in. You know, it's fun to have some of the things that you need already prepped. So I've got those. I'm going to look at how many I have. And if I need additional onions, then I've got some fresh chopped over on the side. I also have some celery. I'm going to put celery in. Now I'm going to drain this a little bit because I kept it overnight and it is in water. So even though I really could use the water, so I think I'll drain it in here. That's some of my tomatoes that are going to be going into the mixture. All right. So we're going to have plenty of celery. And celery's good to go. So all of this needs to get good and hot. I left the little leaves on them. Here's one that's a little big. I think I'll take him out. We'll use him later. But, you know, I kind of like leaving it a natural. All right, so we've got onions and celery for the soup. We've got the onions going for the spaghetti. I'm going to add some, bring some spoons over. I'm going to add some house seasoning. You know my house seasoning, my basic house seasoning. If you haven't checked out that short, you know what the basic is. I'm going to put a little bit in each of the pots. So there we go. We'll leave that open because we will probably need just a little bit more. Now my onions, because they had been over here in the spaghetti, because they had been in the freezer, they're going to be a little more liquidy than what they would normally be. So I've got those over there. Now here, I've got tomatoes. Yes, I pulled them out of the freezer, and I had a 48-ounce container of diced tomatoes, and I didn't use all of them. So when that happens, I usually throw them in the freezer, and when I need them, I can pull them out. So this is going to come up. We're going to get it bubbling, and then we're going to add a lot of goodness into this. Now, over here, I'm going to actually use a can of diced tomatoes. I'm going to put those in so we can get them going. Now, I have something new that I'm going to introduce, I don't know, you all may use it. You know, I know that. Back during the pandemic, when I was really trying to stock the pantry, I started purchasing bags of dehydrated mixed vegetables. Let's see if you can see that. Dehydrated mixed vegetables. And I actually got them from Amazon. Now, you don't necessarily have to get them from Amazon, but that's where I got them. I put the link down in the description box in case that's something that you'd like to have on the shelf. Now, you know, they have really, it's funny because they have really come in handy because the big guy likes to use just some chicken broth, and he'll throw in some vegetables. And for him, that's just a good warm cup of soup. So once he figured out that I had the dried mixed vegetables, then he decided that he was going to take over my dehydrated vegetables and hijack them. Well, you know what? Oh my goodness. He just went through bags of dehydrated vegetables using, are those home fresh frozen diced tomatoes? Gail, good morning, everyone. Gail, these are not. These were actually canned. And because I didn't use them all, I threw them in the freezer because I wasn't quite sure when I was going to use them again. And but they are diced. They are diced, and they are not home canned. No, but sometimes I have those, and sometimes I don't. Actually, I'm out of all the good tomatoes, and because we really are a tomato family, we use a lot of tomatoes, and so I'm going to let this just kind of break down, and I'm going to keep flipping it. You can see that I'm just going to break that up. Now, once we get to a certain point, then I'm going to let you see some of the favorite products that I have. Now, I love the looks of this soup, and we're going to be using some of our dehydrated vegetables in our soup. So I'm going to start with, we've got quite a bit of liquid. I'm going to start with about a half cup, and I've got more over here as I need them. So I'm going to stir those in because remember we were talking about on Monday, we were talking about trying to get as many vegetables into our family members as we possibly could. And what better way than to fix a nice pot of vegetable soup? And that's exactly what minestrone is. It's vegetable soup with beans. It's got beans. Now, the beans are going to take care of those proteins that we need. So I'm going to use this. I got my beans here. And I'm going to start to add the beans into the soup. I may not use all of them, and I may actually end up having some beans and rice this week. But I think that is probably just about enough. Now, we're going to add the goodness. We want some, I've got some homemade chicken broth as well as some boxed chicken broth. So we're going to be using both of those today. I'm going to use both. Where you can kind of keep up with everything. So let me get our broth. Good morning. Good morning. I have a quart of homemade chicken broth. Good morning to everyone. This is the broth I made from those rotisserie chickens we were talking about several weeks ago. And I'm going to pour all of that broth in because, well, no, I'm not going to add any real meat, but I am going to use the chicken broth because the person that this is going to is really not a vegetarian. And I did ask when I went to Olive Garden what type of broth they use. And they said that, well, sometimes they use, just depends on what they have, whether they use a vegetable broth or whether they use a chicken broth. Just, just kind of depends on the cook. So we have our broth going. I'm going to turn that up so that broth can start to bubble a bit, but we've got plenty of liquid. I'm going to add just a tad bit more, just about a cup more of water. Now, because we're adding a little bit of water, we're probably going to need a little bit of extra seasoning. That tells us, for those of you who have been here early, we have cookies in the oven. They need just a few more minutes. So, okay, don't let me talk too long. Make sure I take care of those cookies. That's the nice part about you being here in the kitchen, because you can help me keep up with what we're doing. All right, so we've got tomatoes over here that are breaking down, and we're going to have a nice sauce. Now, while those tomatoes are breaking down, I'm going to come back over here, and I think I'm going to use a few more of those beans. Beans are very, very healthy, and it's a good substitute when you don't necessarily want to add meat. Now, this particular person isn't, like I said, is not vegetarian, but they're having some dental work done, and eating meat right now is just a little difficult. So we're going to have some nice beans, nice and soft. They'll have what they need. And I'm looking at our vegetables thinking maybe we need another half cup. So I'm going to put in another half cup of our dehydrated vegetables. Like I said, if we need more, we'll add more. The nice thing about this mix is that it has carrots, it's got onions, it's got celery, it has peppers, it has all of those flavors. And what a great way to be able to get those 7 to 10 vegetables into each of your family members, and woohoo, they will be healthy and they'll enjoy what you have prepared. So we're going to let this just simmer, and I'm going to give it a little taste to see what we need. Let's see, we need a little more. Where's our mix? Okay, we need a little more house seasoning. I'm going to put in another teaspoon or so. Now, I'm trying not to use the salt, but I may, because of the beans, I may have to add just a little bit of salt to this mixture. Now, I'll go over here, get some salt, but I'm not going to get crazy with it. So just know that. I'll put a little in my hand, put about a teaspoon in my hand, right there. And we're going to add that in. Just a teaspoon. That's all we're going to add. That is going to be enough. Now we're going to put a top on this and let it simmer. All right, we got our top ready to go. Okay, over here with our spaghetti, it is bubbling away. And like I said, this is going to be for the big guy and I later on tonight. So I am getting our spaghetti going. And I'm going to add in, I have the meat already taken care of. Yep, Denise loves carrots, Gail. That's right. Now, this is cooked ground beef that I cooked right after we went grocery shopping. And so I'm going to put all of that in our pot. There we go. All of it is going in the pot. Everybody's in. And I'm going to, and it's still partially, there we go. It's breaking down pretty quick because the water in there is pretty hot. So we're going to let our ground beef come to temperature. And while that's coming to temperature, let's talk about some of the things we're going to use. I love Hunt's pasta sauce. It is so thick. And what it does is that I typically mix this with another pasta sauce. So we're going to start with Hunt's. And we're going to put in one, let's see, this is a 24-ounce can. I think it's the only size that they actually have is the 24-ounce can. That's the only size I've seen. So we're going to try to get all of this out because this is good. This is good. It is good. And it really does make a difference to your, aha. Oh yeah. I can smell them, so I know they're ready. We're going to bring these out. Aha! Our cookies are ready. Close those up. Close that up. I'm going to put them over where they can cool off, and then we'll take them off the parchment. All right, cookies done. I can turn our oven off. So that's a good thing. That just cools things down a little bit here in the kitchen. Now, actually today, it's funny. We had 73 degrees yesterday. And today we woke up to 41. Who'd have thunk it? What a crazy, crazy up and down situation with the weather. All right, this is going. Our Hunt's tomato sauce is in there. And it's going to get up close and personal. Oh yeah, the ground beef is breaking down. It's already, like I said, it's already cooked. And that's the advantage. When you come home from the grocery, prep. Do as much prep as you can. Then, and put things into your freezer bags so that when you're ready to do your actual cooking for the week, you can bring your dishes together quickly. Prep your vegetables. And like in the case of, if you buy larger packages of ground beef, maybe some of it you may not want to prep, but certainly it would be nice to have some ground beef on hand. You might want a taco night. I know some of you do a taco night, a Tuesday taco or a Thursday taco night. And so if that's the case, then you're going to be ready to put those tacos together quickly. All right, we've got our Heinz in there. And if you have a Trader Joe's near you, this is liquid gold. This is the Trader Joe's roasted garlic marinara. Oh my goodness. You can eat this stuff with a spoon. That's how good it is. And what the Hunt's does is that it adds the thickness that you like in your tomato sauce. And this adds the flavor. So we're going to put this in one jar. I usually, when I go to Trader Joe's, this is the first stop I make, is to get several jars of my marinara. It has all the flavors of Italy that you'd like to have. Plus, it's very, very garlicky. And it is just going to make this spaghetti hot. There we go. Break down our ground beef, make sure it's loose, because we don't want any chunks. Now, I have enough liquid here that I could actually drop my pasta into the liquid, but I'm going to let this simmer, and I'm going to let it simmer open without a top so that it can kind of cook off some of the liquid. Because what I'm going to do, the pasta, I'm not going to cook until dinner time, but we're going to make that sauce. And you know, if you remember your, those of you who have some Italian background, you know that the Italian mamas, they put on that pot of Trader Joe's, yes. And I'm going to add in, I better measure this out. I'm going to put in a good handful. These are Italian herbs that I'm going to add. Just a little. And you crunch them as you put them in. Just rub, rub, rub as you put them in so that their flavor will bloom. So we're going to give all of that a good stir. Now you could even add, you know, I like pesto sauce, and you could add some pesto sauce into this. But you know, with both the Hunt's and the Trader Joe's sauces, you don't need the pesto sauce, not at all. So like I said, I'm going to let this simmer, and it is going to be so, so good. I have even snuck in grated carrots into my tomato sauce, my pasta sauce, especially when the kids were young and they were at that point where they always said they didn't eat certain vegetables. Then I snuck it into my meat sauces. So for something I thought they needed, then it got in here. All right, so we're going to let this bubble because it needs to do that. And I'm coming over here looking at our soup. It is just bubbling away. The good thing is that since we have tomatoes in both of these soups, we're going to be able to kind of go back and forth. So I can use one spoon and get it going. Now, I'm looking at our beans, and we may need to add the rest. Because, you know, it's all about portion. I'm going to add a few more of those beans in. And I'm even going to put some of the juice from the beans because, you know, that has a lot of starch. And that's going to help thicken our soup up. There we go. Oh, yeah. Now, we need a taste. That's it. Okay. Now, I'm going to take just a tiny bit of water. Now, we've got enough water over there. I'm going to clean our jar out right there. Add a little extra. Now, you could add some tomato sauce or tomato paste. And in fact, I think I've got some tomato paste. Our pasta's coming up here, bubbling away. That's a good thing, but we want to keep it moving because we do not want this to stick. There we go. And I already know the big guy and I are not going to be able to eat all of this. So some of this is going to get put away for later. All right, let me find that tomato sauce. Here we go. Now I buy my tomato paste in a tube because it is just so easy to squish out. So we're going to squish some tomato paste into our soup and give it a little more tomato body. There we go. Okay. And we as home cooks, we are constantly cooking, but we are also looking at our recipes and our menus. Is it the texture that you want? Is it the color that you want? Does it have enough of the mix? And you know what, guys? I only have a little bit of beans left, not enough for a dinner. So what I'm going to do is that they're going in the pot. In the pot. I think my neighbor will love this. She will be very happy with it. Now I'm going to let this simmer. And a pot like this, you can simmer on low now I'm going to bring it up because I want it to boil first. And then I'll cut it back and let it just simmer on the stove. And I'm going to take it over to her hot and bubbly just before her dinner time. She knows I'm bringing something. She just doesn't know what it is. So we're going to treat her. I have some bread, and we'll take all of that over to her. Now, look at how quickly this has already started to tighten up just from evaporation. That's going to evaporate that liquid, and it's going to thicken up. And oh my goodness, the hamburger has broken down, and it is in its little individual pieces, and that's a good thing. I made sure that when I prepped it, that it was well separated. So we're just going to let this continue to bubble and to work. Now let's come over here, and we got to check out. That's right. Get those carrots in. Oh, yeah. All of this, Ronnie, you're absolutely right. All of this. Oh, yeah, it was Deb. Deb says she makes her own pasta sauce and lets it slow cook all day in the crock pot. That is a good way to do it. This will fit into your crock pot. And, can you imagine the aroma when you come home? It's going to be great. Now, I've got since I didn't get to finish my breakfast, guess what's going to be my breakfast? I got, these are pumpkin oatmeal cookies. Warm. This is really good. The nice thing about these is that you can eat them. There's a tiny bit of sugar in them, not an extreme amount of sugar. And you can add this. Good morning. You can get a cup of coffee and one cookie. That's breakfast. Good to go. So let's sit over here and I'm going to see what you all are talking about today. Get you disconnected here. Oh, okay. Now, come on over. We're going to sit down and we're going to talk a minute while our pots are bubbling, because they do need to bubble a little while. That's good. Now I'm going to bring you down because I know you're thinking, where'd you go? I'm absolutely here. And we're going to sit down. And I'm going to fix a cup of coffee. How about that? While we're waiting, have a little coffee. This is black. Since we have a cookie, we'll have black coffee this morning. So let's get it done. I have some plans, so let me share with you what this week is going to look like. This week, we've got to change because it's Valentine week. I thought what fun it would be to have a special edition lunchtime. And we're going to celebrate Valentine on Tuesday and sit down and have lunchtime on Tuesday all together. Now, some of us have partners, significant others, husbands, and that we're probably going to do something special with at night. But during the day, we can be with our buds and have a good time. So, special edition lunchtime is going to be on Tuesday this week on Valentine. It's a Valentine special edition lunchtime. So, you're going to want to be there. Going to be fun. And we're going to do some fun things. It's a little bit different, break it up a little bit. When your buddies come over, I want to do fun things. So that's what we're going to do. Delicious. And these particular cookies, some of you will laugh, I did not put nuts in. Because I already know I'm going to take some of these over to my grands, and they're not fans of nuts. The lunchtime is going to be on Tuesday this week, no Monday. It's going to be on Tuesday, our special edition. And I just think it'd be fun having a Valentine's Day lunch at the table. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a good time on Valentine. And it'll be a lot of fun. Let's not changing anything else for the week. Just lunchtime. What do you guys have planned for your honeys for lunchtime? For Valentine's? What are you doing? We usually each do something. The big guy usually handles dinner. And I try to do something at lunch, or I will do something even the day before, depending upon when Valentine's Day is. Of course, this time it's in the middle of the week. It's on a Tuesday. So I will plan to do something. It'll be a special breakfast, or it'll be something that'll be just geared to those things that I know he loves. Maybe some Valentine cookies, you just never know. I'm going to come up with something that's going to be fun. And we're going to do it together. I have some things I want you to see at our lunchtime. So it's going to be a good time. Now, guys, we can't talk too long ago because you know what? Things are bubbling over there on the stove. So we're going to go over here. Oh, yeah. our sauce is just cooking away. Our soup is cooking away. So I'm going to turn those down, turn my sauce down, and I really need to give this sauce a stir because we do not want it to stick. There you go. So just keep your wooden spoon, run it along the bottom of your pan, back and forth. I do it back and forth to try to cover all of the surface on the bottom to make sure that I'm pulling anything that may be on the bottom up. And, you know, we just have to keep an eye on it. So our sauce is there. Let's see how our soup's doing. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm going to need another spoon for this. Okay, I'm going to get my spurtle. And it is doing well. We don't want those beans to stick on the bottom. Oh, that's nice, right? You're taking your granddaughter to dinner. That is so sweet. She'll love it. She'll love it. And your honey, yes, you know, we got to do stuff for our honeys. And even though, you know, it's funny, if I say, honey, what do you want to do for Valentine's Day? He kind of gives me that bah humbug response of, I don't need to do anything. But when I do it, then he's got a grin from ear to ear. So let's kick it up a notch. We're going to do something special for your honey, whether it's breakfast, whether it's a special lunch, because we're not into the chocolate candy and, you know, all that kind of stuff, because I don't need it, he doesn't need it. And so we just don't, we stopped I stopped him bringing home those boxes of chocolates, because Lord knows I didn't need to be eating chocolates at night or day. So I kind of broke him of that. And it was so funny because he said, well, now what? If I can't bring you candy, then what? Well, you know, I like roses, and I usually go pick my own because I'm looking for a particular color, whatever the color scheme is going to be. And I like jewelry. Jewelry is always good. You know, if they really want to spend something, you know, buy something really nice that you can keep from year to year. And so our cash works, our gift card works, because then you can take it, and when it's really something that you see that you would like to have, that's a good time to be able to do that. But, you know, really, just seeing his face and that smile is enough right there. And, you know, when you can bring your grands in, I can remember when they were little and we were keeping them every day. Then for Valentine's Day, we would make cookies, and of course you'd have, they liked getting those little boxes of hearts and having all of that, using a card, and they loved it. And so now that most of them are a little older, particularly the girls, then I can find little things that are more Valentine, even if it's a cutesy pair of Valentine socks. You know, there's all kinds of things that we can share with our family and just make them smile. That's really what it's all about, being able to add those memories. And the kids remember all of that to this day. And even my grandson likes the candy. You know, now, will he tell the fellas that his grandmother gave him a box of candy? Probably not at the age of 15. But does he like it? Yes. He's just like our hubbies in that he didn't want the fellas to know he really liked that, but he liked it, you know. Or if I don't want to eat my candy, I know I can give it to him because he burns it off. So I can share it with him. But anyway, so we're going to give this soup another taste at this point, because you know we did a lot to it. So I'm going to add this one. Now, what I'm not adding in here, you know, when you're at Olive Garden, your minestrone soup has the little, I think you call it digitalis, the little teeny tiny pasta pieces of pasta. Oh, that's good. That is good. Okay, I'm not gonna dip again. That's perfect. So I'm gonna turn it down on low so it will continue to cook and to just simmer and let those flavors simmer so that by the time she gets it, it's gonna taste like I fixed it yesterday. Because you know with soup, when you give it an extra day, then you know it's gonna be perfect. Let's see. Oh, Ronnie said that they have Valentine decorations up. Oh, she made sugar cookies, yummy, for her granddaughter to decorate. Oh, that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun, Ronnie. Your granddaughter's going to enjoy it. Most of all, you're going to enjoy it. And don't forget to take pictures. You got to have those pictures because, you know, I always take pictures because I think that, you know, when I get to that point where I might not remember, and I pray that that will never be the case, but it may be, you have pictures as reminders. And it's good for the kids to have pictures that they can look at and will remind them of wonderful times. So, man, our pasta sauce is ready. Woohoo! Oh yeah, it has thickened up. I'm trying to concentrate it so that once we're ready to eat, this is going to be on the stove. Let me get another spoon. Here's another one. Make sure our flavor is where we want it. It's good and hot. Oh man. The Trader Joe's marinara that you put in, it is delicious. Let me tell you, it really is good. So if you ever have an opportunity to go to Trader Joe's, if you don't have one close, when you go, you know, pick up about 3 or 4 jars of the marinara. I like the roasted garlic because we like garlic. But now they do have one that is more of a meat sauce. But, you know, you saw I had enough meat. I don't have to worry about that. But if you are a home cook and you want something quick, you can actually just go straight with that Trader Joe's marinara over your pasta, and particularly the one that has the meat in it. And you're good to go. It's gold. And you may want to add just a touch more of garlic, but you know, we do what we do. We go according to our taste and our family's taste. Now, Michelle said she usually makes a heart-shaped cake. Oh, yummy. They're going to make ribs for supper. Oh, that sounds delicious. Denise says she usually makes her hubby shrimp and grits. Oh, yes, a pretty table with Valentine decor. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. As much as they wiggle and squirm, oh, I don't. But the reality of it is like, she thought of me and did something special. They love it. They love it. So shrimp and grits, oh, that just sounds so good. And a heart-shaped cake. Oh, that will be so pretty. And Gail, you're never behind. You're never behind. You got more than enough time. She's saying that she's behind. She's going to have to think of something. And she said, these are some great ideas. Absolutely. You know, it doesn't have to be something that's off the chart. Now, my honey always wants ribeye steaks and a baked potato. You could do a heart. Yes, Deb. Oh, I didn't even see it. A heart-shaped pizza if they like pizza. Whatever it is that they like. Yes, I did those pumpkin cookies. Yes, they are good. And so we are set. I am set. I have soup for my friend. And I also, and this is minestrone soup. And I have, I'm going to bring in a little closer, see if I can get you kind of in the pot. There we go. We've got our minestrone soup. That is nice. It's got tons of vegetables. And remember, we used our dehydrated vegetables. Now, some of you have dehydrators. And if you have your dehydrators, then it is so easy to put your vegetable soups together because you are using what you acquired perhaps during the summer when it was nice and fresh and you dehydrated it so you could have it at a later time. So we've got our minestrone soup, and it will need about I'll probably give it another hour to simmer just to make sure. You're mainly making sure that the beans are tender. You want tender beans in your soup. So I'm going to keep the top on it because I want the moisture to stay in the soup. I don't want the moisture to cook off because those beans are going to soak up quite a bit of that moisture, even though I kind of pre-cooked them. Over here, we've got our pasta sauce that is nice and thick. It has thickened up quite nicely. And when it's time for dinner, you know, I like to cook a 2-pound pack of pasta, spaghetti, or linguine, or fettuccine, whatever it is that you like. And some of it I'll use for tonight, and the rest I will freeze the pasta separately, and then I can just take it out and use it when I'm ready to have more. So we have cooked. This pot is enough for the big guy and I to probably get at least 4 meals off of 4. And that's the way I'm going to package it, as 4 meals. The soup, of course, my neighbor will get her portion of soup. I'm going to give her a large portion so that she will have at least 2 days of soup. And if there's any left, then I'll package it for us so that we can have it on a day when it's chilly and we want something cold. So when you're cooking your soups, your pasta sauces, all of those kind of things, you want to make sure that you're making a quantity large enough that you can eat today and put some away for another day. So I'm hoping that you have enjoyed being right here in the kitchen. You see that little box over there? Those are things that are going to be going to my donation location. We took lots of canned goods and things that could be microwaved to the YWCA. If you have a YWCA in your area, then that's a great place to donate your canned goods, and particularly things that can be microwaved, because what they do is that they provide a service to women who, whether it's a battered situation or whether people have lost their homes, single moms have lost their homes, they provide a place for them to stay. And they also provide food so that they will have food to eat. And so we were able to actually, we took 12 huge boxes of things that they could choose from, things that the children would enjoy, as well as nutritional things that moms can fix and fix easily. Oh, Gail, thank you so much. This has been so much fun. Quick question. How are you liking the shorts? We're solving our dinner mysteries through the shorts, and I am having a wonderful time. And so I hope that you'll keep an eye out for that. For those of you who are on today and you are not subscribed, we do these kinds of things all the time where we sit down right here in the kitchen. I love having you here while I'm cooking so we can talk and we can share. And sharing is caring. So we're gonna be on it. So I'll see you Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. Just keep that in mind. 12:30 Valentine's Day. We're gonna all sit back and enjoy Valentine. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. Thank you, Deb. Now, you have an absolutely blessed Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I am going to look forward and be ready for you on Tuesday, Valentine's Day. All of you enjoy. I'll see you soon.